so I am here at E3 in a quieter, maybe brainier section of the National Videogame Museum. They have a huge display back here of all kinds of gaming memorabilia, so we're gonna take a look. We're gonna go back in time. Follow me. All kinds of super early video games, electronic baseball, space battle. Check this out. Early ass Frogger, look. Seinfeld was based on Frogger. People don't know that. Okay, so all along here we've got a bunch of old consoles. There's Super Nintendo. I think there's an N64 back there, Sega. My first console was a Sega Genesis. These guys over here are playing GoldenEye. GoldenEye, I spent so many nights in different friends' basements just slaughtering some of the people I love the most. No Odd Job. If you play Odd Job, you're a monster. Stack sucks. Do not pick Stack. And Slappers Only, go home. You're not invited. If you pick Slappers Only, I have no respect for you. Sorry. Okay, so in this case is some pretty rare and expensive stuff. One of the coolest things in here, this is actually the system and the cartridge from the 1994 Nintendo World Championships. So this stuff is certainly worth more than my life. I don't know how you're living, but definitely worth more than me. Loopy, which I've never heard of, but apparently Casio released something called Loopy. And I'm guessing it didn't go well because I've never heard of it. All right, and now we have a bunch of the old arcade games, which you could probably still play in bars all across America. Quarterback, we got Golden Tee Golf over here, Karate Champ, very fun. This is all of these are just getting me closer and closer to Star Wars and Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man, I remember on my Sega Genesis getting to level 36. My mom was holding water with a straw in front of me because I refused to get up. That game stole so much of my life, and I don't want any of it back. So I'm here with Sean Kelly, who's actually one of the 3 co-founders of the National Videogame Museum. Sean, how did this start? Was it a collection, or did you always want to have a video game museum?
I don't think we always wanted to have a museum, but we always wanted to have this stuff. So even back in the 80s when this stuff was just coming out, myself and both of my partners, we all kind of saw it as something that was cool and something that really impacted our lives. So it was something that we wanted to preserve.
So you guys had the vision for this in 1984. This isn't recent.
Well, I don't want to say that I had a vision for a museum. I had a vision to preserve the stuff. We knew back then that this stuff should be preserved. And that was at a time when nobody else thought that. All the programmers back in the day thought it was all throwaway. I mean, they were convinced that video games were going to be a fad in the 80s, and we knew they weren't going to be.
Yeah, they're very clearly not.
As you can see, we're at E3 in the LA Convention Center, so they were not a fad.
So the museum actually is in Frisco, Texas, right?
Frisco, Texas. It's 20 miles north of Dallas. The physical space is 10,000 square feet, so we have 22 exhibits in there, everything ranging from an 80s living room with wood grain paneling on the wall, and we rebuilt an 80s arcade, so we have 42 arcade machines. A lot of really cool stuff.